All right, well, good morning, everyone. It's Monday, November 4th, 2024. We get together most weekday mornings with our distribution partners to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and support each of you. Remember, we have an entirely separate set of Zoom calls for our prospective participants. So, our morning sessions, like now, are for our distribution partners. We have typically multiple Zooms every day for potential and prospective clients, but you're welcome, no matter which role you're in, to join us for any of those. Today, we're going to talk about the November incentive and bonus, and then make sure that we all are prepared to go out there and help people and make money this week. Because the November incentive trip is in November, we've had to really shorten the time frame for production. So let's talk about what the incentive is. We had a really good incentive trip last month, I should mention, in October, where a group of us, our top producers, all went to Austin, Texas to see the F1 race there. Now we're going to take those of you that want to join us, great networking event, to Las Vegas. And so it's the weekend before Thanksgiving is when the F1 race is. So with that, we'll cover your airfare. We're all going to be staying, I think it's in the Wynn Hotel, which is really nice. And we'll be all flying in the 22nd, flying out the 25th. We'll cover all of your costs. So that's when and where. If you qualify but you can't attend, you can cash out and just get the cash instead. But hopefully you would want to join us. Great, it'll be a great time. So that's the what. The who would be our top 10 producers from today through the 10th. So it's essentially the first full week of the month of November. Kind of alters, normally we'd say the November incentive is for the entire month of November, but since the trip is in November, we need to have a shorter qualification period because we need to get hotel rooms booked and flights booked in advance and so forth. And so, what does it take to qualify? It's our top 10 producers based upon having sold shelf corps, meaning contracted and paid during the incentive time period, which is today through the 10th. Now, again, every day is a good day to go help a client. Every day is a good day to make money. However, we want to offer something special periodically. So I suspect a number of you will be joining us. As I look at the list here, I suspect Celino, he was with us previously and just came back on yesterday as a distribution partner. I'd be surprised if Celino's not there with us. Toby, Mr. Gibson, Joseph, but it's an open, fair game. Corinthian, I know you were looking at doing 10 deals in November. If you do 10 deals this week, you certainly should be a top producer. So there's the incentive. Hopefully that adds extra incentive for you to go out and help people. Now, when we talk about helping people, there are two solutions that we have. We have the build option and the buy option. So what is it that you and I do? We solve problems. We get paid a lot of money. You get paid a lot of money for solving problems. What's the problem that you solve? Financial illiteracy resulting in inadequate access to capital. So what is it that we do? We build financial literacy and we increase access to capital. We know that if you want business funding, you have to have a fundable business. If you want business funding, you have to have a fundable business. There's two ways that you and I can help them, through the build or the buy. So the build is the 4-week funding program. So we build through their current entity or a new entity that we form for them over a 28-day period and build out a fundable business. If you're a white label partner, if you look at the last page of your white label partner license agreement, you see the payout on the addendum. It's great. So this is the build option. But frankly, what most of us are focused on is the buy option, the shelf corporation. So that's what the flyer represents. All of you should have a copy of this flyer, and it's editable in the bottom. so that way you can put your information on it. This flyer, I think, does a really good job of describing what a shelf corporation is all about. So it's great to share with clients. It's great as a talking reference point. You all should have this, and you all should have edited the orange box at the bottom with your information. So what are we doing? We're creating fundable businesses either through a build or through a buy. All right, so let's move on here. So we have two different roles. We have affiliates and white label partners. It is fine to be either one, or theoretically you could be both. But we're running into some issues where I think some of you are converging the two. So let's make sure you understand the difference. As an affiliate, you get a landing page, you refer in, you get paid, no other burden. That's it. Refer in, get paid, nothing else. Simple, landing page provided, it's great. White label partner, much more advanced role. Now you're actually setting your own pricing, getting your clients under contract, and closing the deals. And so you need to collect at least $1,000 up front as what we'd call a down payment. From that, we split that 50-50. So you keep 500, we get 500, and then we'll go facilitate financing for the balance of the shelf corp. Again, you set pricing, you do the contracting. As a white label partner, there are production goals. And sometimes I talk to some of you and you seem oblivious to that, because we cannot, as a business, support, train, assist white label partners if there's not production. If you don't want to be held to production standards, you shouldn't be a white label partner. You should be an affiliate. So please be aware, and Romeo and I were texting back and forth about that this morning. So it's important to know if you're a white label partner, there are production requirements. That's to prevent us from, frankly, wasting time on dabblers. It's okay to be a dabbler as an affiliate because we don't really need to do much training and support, but there is a lot more training and support that's needed for white label partners. So is everyone familiar with what the production standard requirements are as a white label partner? Because we want to make sure that you're successful, making money, compliant, and again, in the right role. So you could be either, you could be both, but the solutions are the same. We're still offering the buy or build. That doesn't change. The difference is what you do and how you get paid. All right, doesn't seem like we have any questions there. All right, Joseph. Well, Joseph does have a question. So we did have an incentive in October, and yes, I believe that we're current, but Joseph, I can check on yours that they came in over the weekend and settled up the incentives for October for those of you that qualified. But what I'll do for you, Joseph, is I'll make a note and have them follow up on yours. Yeah, so each month, typically, we're going to have a different incentive. The incentive for November we just covered. Okay, so in addition to the two different roles, of course, the money that you make is much different. Affiliates make just a simple $1,000 per conversion. I have a lot of people that want to debate that, but that's just what it is. You have a free landing page, you refer in, you get paid, make $1,000 per conversion. Conversion means someone that has enrolled and paid for their shelf corporation. Straightforward. Payout next day. Anyone you enroll today, you're paid tomorrow. In contrast, white label partners much different. So they're paid, their comp model starts with that deposit. Remember, we started up here that while you certainly could collect the full amount of the shelf corp payment, which you pick as a white label partner, you can collect that all up front. But what most of you are doing is collecting $1,000 from the client as a deposit. You keep half and send us half, as we said. So that's your first round of income as a white label partner. And then we're going to go get financing for that client to pay for the balance of their shelf corp. And then that gets you the other 5,000 or whatever you're pricing. You control that. And then you're paid on the back end off of their capital raise. Most of you are charging 10%, but again, you control the pricing. So it's very important to understand the difference in the roles, what you do. So let's summarize it one more time. What do affiliates do? Refer into their free landing page, get paid, nothing else. Nothing else. That's it. White label partners get clients under contract, set their own pricing, and they're paid multiple times, typically 3 times per client. Are there any questions that anyone has about that? Well, anything we've covered or anything we haven't covered, but this is so important to understand. Combined with the fact that some of you are overlooking that as a white label partner, you have production requirements, because that's the deal. If you don't want production requirements, you need to be an affiliate. So make sure that you're active as a white label partner. Otherwise, you're not doing what you promised. So ultimately, what we want to do is open up our session for the rest of the 15 or so minutes we have. What help do you need? What help do you need to make money today? Because what's been happening, it's my fault, not yours. We'll have this Zoom, we'll end the Zoom, and 6 of you will call us right afterwards. And it's like, okay, well, we need to restructure our time so we can spend today at each session trying to answer your questions, because we run out of time when we have, I don't know, like right now we have 423 of you on, which is great. But let's say 10% of you have questions afterwards. So that's 42 calls all coming in at one time. That's not sustainable. So we want to make sure that we're addressing questions, comments, concerns during this session. All right, so Mr. Gibson is looking for leads. So what we've talked about for leads, Mr. Gibson, we've had prior trainings on it, is that we recommend that you work with Kyle for leads. And if you don't know how to get with Kyle, contact Madison either by phone or by email, and she'll get you in contact with Kyle. Now, Mr. Gibson, just so you know, I tried to reach you 3 times over the weekend over a client that you enrolled. 3 times I tried to reach you, and you never reached us back. So we need help. You didn't upload your client agreement into Dropbox. So let's explain to everyone what that means. So what Mr. Gibson did is he certainly got a client under contract, and he collected the deposit. So he did great there. He collected and kept half and sent us half. So he's already done 2A. But for us to move forward, we need to make sure that you would upload your client agreement into the Dropbox folder that we provided. So Mr. Gibson didn't do that. So we've not been able to process this client. So if you don't know what that means, call Madison. But each of you, once you have your first deal, will be given a Dropbox folder. It's a shared cloud-based file folder. That's where you'll upload the client contract, and then we'll be able to get financing for the client for the rest of what they owe for the shelf court. So that way 2B can happen. But if you don't put the client agreement into the Dropbox, we don't have enough information about them to get financing or to trigger the financing process. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Mr. Charles is asking. Mr. Charles is one of our newest distribution partners. Yeah, so let's take another layer deeper on pricing. And we've covered it before, but I know not all of you have been on the prior training. So on the Shelf Corp, as an affiliate, you don't set pricing, so you don't have to worry about that. As a white label partner, you determine the client pricing. And so we need 10,000 to pay our vendors for what we're buying, putting together for the Shelf Corp, which is covered on the flyer and other training resources. So anything above 10,000 is what you make as a white label partner. So some of you, most of you, I think, are charging 15,000. So that means you're making 5,000. That's why I reference this. Some of you are charging more. Some of you are charging 20,000, 25. I know there's a couple of you charging 35,000. That's up to you. That's your choice. But the first 10,000 comes to us because we've got to be able to pay our vendors for everything that we're putting together here. Does that make sense, Mr. Charles? And Mr. Charles is asking about getting the flyer. So if you don't have the flyer, what are you going to do? You're going to call Madison or you're going to email Madison. She's your main point of contact. All right. Carrie says that she tried to reach Madison and the email didn't work. Well, that's interesting. So I email her every day. So let me try it right now. And let's see if it works, Carrie, because it's worked every other time for us. I'm not saying you're wrong. And yep, it went through. So I think you misspelled Madison's email. And if you do that, then it may not go through. I apologize for that. So everyone should see her phone number and her email on the page. Okay, so this is great. What else do you all need? Because the goal is for you to actually go make money today. You know, it's great that we spend time together in the mornings, but that's really a waste if you're not applying what you've learned. So if you're not going out and enrolling clients and making money, you probably should go find something else to do. So I see so many great minds on here that have been around a while and you're making $0. Now, some of you make a lot, I know, but some of you are making zero. Some of you signed up to be an affiliate. We gave you a landing page and you still did zero. Mr. Ryans, you're an example of that. They literally took your landing page down, Mr. Ryans, over the weekend because it's been like a month and you've had zero submissions to your landing page. That's a waste of time and energy for you and us. And so it's not to be insensitive, but we just can't keep wasting time and energy on people that don't produce. If you don't want to have production requirements, which affiliates don't, then be an affiliate. If you want to make the big boy, the big girl money, be more involved, have more control, then be a white label partner. But there are performance requirements. And if you don't hit those requirements, you're not in compliance. And most often when people are not in compliance, it's always, yeah, but everyone has an excuse. But we set the model up to be very fair. What do we charge you up front to be an affiliate now? Nothing. What do we charge you up front now to be a white label partner? Nothing now. So there just has to be equality. And you to be a tire kicker, you're in the wrong spot. We're focused on high producing professionals. And if you need help, you need to let us know. You can call Madison, you can email Madison, and then, of course, in these trainings, we're here to help you. But let me just ask a few of you questions. I mean, Mr. Charles, again, welcome to the team. You're one of our newest distribution partners. What do we need to do, Mr. Charles, for you so you can go make money today, to go enroll the first client today? And that's really the question I'm asking all of you, but sometimes if I don't put your name into the question, you don't respond. So I really like each of you to take a moment and respond. What is it you need from us so you can go make money today? Today, there's got to be some urgency to go help people. There's lots of entrepreneurs out there that want and need money. They don't know what you know. They don't know that they need a fundable business. They don't know what it takes to have a fundable business, and they don't know about this resource that's available. You don't really have to be much of a salesperson. If you're an educator, you can enroll people very simply. All right, so Mr. Charles has an appointment for his sign up in 2 hours. Okay, well, we got you off the hot seat. Very good, Mr. Charles. Let's go to Corinthian. Again, you're awesome. You are a client 2 times over. Corinthian, you've bought 2 shelf corporations for yourself. I think one for profit, one for nonprofit, if I recall. But Corinthian, what do we need so you go make money today? Because it's either you don't have leads, or you don't have outreach to the leads, or you need help closing the leads. I guess it has to really break down into one of those areas. Greg, we had you labeled as one of our top producers. So, Mr. Fulcher, what is it we need to do, Mr. Fulcher, so you're making money today? Today. Jeanette, Pearlie, Toily, Willie, Romeo, I know you're not going to produce for a while, but what can I do for any of you so you make money today? Because the point is we need to go Well, what do entrepreneurs do? They solve problems, and you make a lot of money. The bigger the problem is that you're solving, the more money that you make. Maybe this just isn't enough money for some of you, because if you're looking at 500 here, another 5,000, and then the 10%, which again you can control, but it's based around the amount of capital that's raised. Let's just say that your average per client income is around, let's just say it's 25,000. It could be more or less because of the variables we've talked about. So I realized maybe this is the problem. Maybe some of you have such other ways to make so much money, an extra 25,000 a deal just isn't worth your time. And if that's the case, I mean, I can appreciate that. Mr. Fulcher, is that the problem that's keeping you from producing? Is 25,000 just not enough money? Willie, you're great about getting on these trainings. Is that where we're coming up short? An extra 25,000 a day, a deal is not enough. Let us know. That's what we need to be doing in these morning sessions, is not just regurgitating, hey, this is the Shelf Corporation, here's how it works. I think you all know that. It's not, hey, get with Madison for support. I think you all know that. But we need to figure out this. This is the key that's missing. For those of you that are not producing, Gilbert, no offense, you get on the training, but you're not making any money. What do we need to do different? What is it that we need to do, Pearlie, so you can go out and make money today? The first thing is to understand what we do. The second thing is to figure out which role you want to be in. And then we need to execute. Money comes through execution. So any other questions, comments, concerns that we can help you with? So if you need support, give Madison a call or email. If you don't have this flyer, like it sounds like Mr. Charles doesn't, that's fine. If you're a white label partner, you would have received an onboarding email and it had editable client contracts for both of these. So that way you can sign clients up to either one of these. You can help clients either way. You can get paid either way. All right, well, if there's anything we can do, let us know. We'll be back tomorrow morning. But the challenge is, let's go enroll a client today. Let's prove that we are in the right role, the right seat, that we're doing the right thing. Because if you're not helping people, this is not the right place for you. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.